We are making it very clear. We will not provoke them. We will not do anything unlawful. It is our right to protest, and no judge and no president, no executive, no minister shall stop this right. No one can take it away. You want to protest in Santen? Go to Santen. You want to protest in Union Building? Go to Union Building. You want to protest in Parliament? Go to Parliament. No one can stop you. It doesn't matter how many you are. Take a stand on Friday. 5 of you, 10 of you, occupy a street and say we demand the downfall of Ramaphosa now. Becky Kele says there will be choppers flying all over South Africa. There is no chopper that can stop us on Monday. We are not scared of choppers. The only thing that chopper will remove is that tops of Becky Kele on his head. It will not remove us on the streets.
National shutdown, regardless of what will happen tomorrow. Just know that the EFF, they already won this one. Yes, guys, you heard me correct. Regardless of what will be the outcome of what will happen on Monday, on this national shutdown, which the EFF, they had called under the leadership of Julius Malema, well, just know that the EFF, they already won this. In this video, I'm going to show some facts that make the EFF become as the winner of this national shutdown called, which they made a couple of weeks ago. But before we get even to discuss more, let's first watch this video just to refresh your mind before we get to come back for more analysis.
We want a good future. On the 20th of March, we have to shut down this country to show the whole world that we are concerned about the state of affairs. We can't fold our arms. But where are the doomsayers? All of those clever blacks, fools masquerading as clever people, who said, how can he announce a shutdown 2 months before shutdown? It will never happen. It's here now. They are shaking.
The EFF's attempted national shutdown protest action is now just hours and not days away. The party says its members and South Africans who have had enough of load shedding and President Cyril Ramaphosa will come together to protest in all parts of the country on Monday. But while the EFF and Julius Malema have made big promises, the DA-run city of Cape Town and the DA itself went to 2 different high courts in an attempt to block the protest. While both courts ruled that the march can go ahead, EFF members have been interdicted from blocking roads, inciting violence, and closing schools and businesses.
We have also resolved to press charges against the EFF and hold them personally liable for any damage done to persons, property, lives, livelihoods, and infrastructure that is harmed or damaged during this so-called shutdown.
John Steenhuisen, the leader of the official opposition, says the EFF has to differentiate between the right to protest and the duty to stay within the laws at all times. Despite insisting that protesters will be peaceful and not approach anyone with violence, Malema warned those not involved in the protest to not provoke his members.
Fighters, defend yourself. Anyone who's trigger happy, show them ×2 what you can do. We're not going to give the other side. Anyone who we're coming in peace. We're not fighting anyone. But don't try us.
Speaking earlier this week, Police Minister Becky Cele and the South African Police Force assured South Africans that sufficient boots will be on the ground on Monday to maintain order. According to SAPS, Monday will be a normal day in terms of people going to work and shops opening.
We are closely monitoring the situation throughout the country and will act swiftly and decisively against any threats of disruptions. There will be high police visibility. Anyone who intimidates, stops anyone from going to work, barricades the roads and highways, and uses any form of violence to try and stop our people from going on with their lives will face the full might of the law.
With Trele and his team having conducted more walkabouts on Saturday to assess police readiness for the attempted shutdown, it's clear that government and the security sector will look to come down hard if there is any lawlessness on Monday.
Now that we have watched this video, let us go straight to the point so that we can get to understand why the EFF, they are being proclaimed already as the winner from this national shutdown. This national shutdown, it was supposed to take place since last year. But according to the EFF, they did not make that happen because they were busy with their campaign of 1 million members of the EFF supporters that they've been recruiting for some times. And once they managed to finish with this 1 million members campaign that they were doing, they decided to choose for a day. And that day it happened that they find that it was going to be good for the 20th of March of this year. And when you get to see in the calendar, this day they had chosen, they had calculated already knowing that people, they'll be going for public holidays, people, they'll be on the long weekends, and we have to take one of these working day before people, they get to go back to work, and they proclaim for it. That is point number one. Point number two, when they announced this, no one took them serious. No one believed that actually this day it will finally come. No one see this happening until when days get even more closer. We get to see now the first people to stand on the roads to trying to stop this national shutdown to take place. That was the DA, who have to take the EFF inside the court so that the court should declare this national shutdown as unlawful act, which they fail. After that, you guys, you saw yesterday how the court had released its final judgment on this matter, saying that they can't stop the EFF from not protesting. Instead, they order them to not bring any kind of violence or anything that will try to stop people from not working. All right. Besides that, we get to see in number two, position number two, the states. When we're talking about the state, we see ministers, we see people within the presidency cabinet, and you know, they have to come forward, and all of them in their language, they were nervous and they were shaking. We put that aside. That's number two. Number three, categories of people who try also to make this national shutdown not to take place. That was the president himself, who had to come and react also about this national shutdown, which, for those who always watch me, I had said before that it was not a good idea for the president to comment anything about this, because him is the man who's being concerned in all this. He's the one who's being affected the most. So him reacting about it, it is another way of him letting the whole country know that I have heard what you guys are trying to do. I have heard your requests, and I'll have to go and sit and see what I can do. So I played you a video of the president himself reacting.
The president must resign, and two, the energy crisis must be resolved. The cost of living is too high. South Africa is governed by the rule of law. We are a constitutional democracy. Regime change can only come about through the vote. It cannot come about through anarchy, unleashing disorder in a country. But then again, it's interesting that Monday is a long weekend. It's a long weekend. Many of our people will probably be traveling to their homes, and we expect that there will be full order and harmony in our country.
But let's just stop there a little bit. I want us to focus on something very important. And these things I'm about to say here now, I consider it as a mistake, which the states, they had made or commit on their side from the moment when Julius Malema with the EFF, they started making this announce of the national shutdown. There were possible way of the states trying to find a proper way to deal with this matter. Unfortunately, that did not happen. You know why? Because they tried to neglect it. They thought it was not going to have impact until when the DA came and tried to influence them. And as usual, the DA, as they always try to influence the ANC and try to dominate the ANC, or the ruling party, should I say it so, they end up buying that side of the story. I'm going to put it in a very simple example. EFF, they announced this national shutdown 2 months ago on the 19th of January. And when they announced this, they had criticism. People criticized them, saying that, how come you want to do this and you are planning it for 2 months? Forgetting that this national shutdown, it was not even planned in 2 months. As I said, EFF, they start organizing this national shutdown since last year in 2022. It's just that they did not want to give the date because they knew what they were up to. So they were criticized by people, even some other political parties, saying that no, they are taking so long to organize for this national shutdown. Now that the day is being announced, the same people, they kept quiet. When the day start approaching, some of these people, they start now changing their sides, accusing the EFF, saying that EFF is trying to revolt people, is trying to call for violence. He wants people to go ahead and loot, do the looting. And all this because the DA have to come and stand as in the front line against this national shutdown. In one of our previous videos that we made here, we told you guys some of the basic reasons that motivate the DA to stand against this national shutdown. And one of it is for the fact that they are trying to protect their own interest. Yes, if there were not any interest that the DA or the open eye master, they don't have to benefit from all this, trust me, they wouldn't bother. And the second example I give to you was to remind you that at the moment there is a battle between the DA and the EFF of Julius Malema. The DA, they are trying to show the world or the whole country that we are number one when it comes to the opposition political parties. So each and every party that comes, they have to be after us. They can't have that more powerful than us. They can't be have that influence more than us. On the other side, we are having a stubborn child or a young boy such as a EFF who came and said that, look, we might be young in the opposition political parties, but we have the influence. We can play the drum and people, they can still dance to our rhythm. You get me? So that battle, the the DA, there is no way that they will sit down and see EFF get to succeed in whatsoever they are doing, because the more EFF get to succeed, the more failure the DA, they will keep on failing, and it will be even more disappointing for them. Excuse me. So it's going to be even more disappointing for them. For an example, DA, they went and marched at Lutuli House. That march, they went there to march to Lutuli House. They failed. That march was not successful. Proof to that, besides all the challenge that they face within the DA members and the ANC members who were there that day, on that day, to support, to defend the Lutuli House. Usually when you prostate, your voice needs to be heard. Once your voice is being heard, You need to get a result, a positive result from whatsoever you have been marching for. But unfortunately, I still remember that day very well. We were in a stage 3, if I'm not mistaken, stage 4. After DA march at Lutuli House, guess what happened next? The following day, we went to stage 6. From stage 6, we went to stage 8. I made a video trying to remind you of what I had said back then. So that actually it was a way of DA being sabotaged. That, no, look, since you are so arrogant, we don't have time for you. This is what you get as a result. Now, for that, it's not something that was going to make the DA to sit and relax seeing the EFF getting to succeed. For your own information, the EFF, they only announced the national shutdown, which have not even taken place yet. They removed the load shedding from stage 8 to stage 1, and this morning, good news, the load shedding is being suspended until further notice. I'm not the one who can testify that. Everyone going to the social medias, look even through your WhatsApp status, everyone they're talking about it. Just because they had announced to shut down the nation. That pressure is what the ruling party needs, is what the government of President Ramaphosa need. And instead of all the credit going perhaps to the Minister of the Electricity, they are giving it to the EFF. Because that is one of the reasons why they want to shut the nation, the country down. So from stage 8 to stage 1, and currently we're standing at stage 0. That already is to show how impact this national shutdown had caused already. And that's why I said, no matter what will happen tomorrow, EFF, they already win. That is the proof number 1. Proof number 2, EFF, when they announced all these things, at first no one was bothering to listen to what they have to say or what is going on. No one was paying attention to them. But as we're talking right now at the moment, everyone they're shaking. Look in the government. Minister Becky Tele, Ronald Lamola. Recently they came in in media. You guys, you get to listen to what they said. You get to see that people are nervous. People are not even too sure of what will happen. That is the reason why you get to see people are so, they're so thinking that this national shutdown, it is all about looting. I said to you before that we must not confuse things. National shutdown is different from looting. And in the history of this country, this will be the first national shutdown, which is being called by opposition political party. And these are the things DA, they will have done it long time ago, but they never done it. So if you get to see someone who's younger than you coming to do all these things, obviously they'll leave you wondering and asking yourself questions like, but how? Because it will even make people open their eyes and get to understand that perhaps there's something better on the other side. So guys, you get to understand that regardless of what will happen tomorrow, whether people will be on the streets or not, the EFF, they already win. Because they make the state shake by taking all the precautions. I get to listen to this other woman. She was in tears as she was busy recording a video, saying that she's so disappointed for the fact that the states, they are putting everything in their power to stop Julius Malema with the EFF from not prostrating on this national shutdown. Yet the country still have serious problems, many challenges, that if they can put the same effort in crime, the same effort they're putting today, if they can put it to fight crime, to fight drugs, to fight illegal migrants, to fight unemployment, to fight even this load shedding, to fight corruption, do you think that the country was going to be at this point? That is just a question. Because we all get to see, like right now as we're talking, go in Pretoria, you will see they already put the army vehicles all over there. Then you ask yourself, like, okay, are them going to slaughter someone tomorrow or not? Is the EFF with its membership, are them going to prostrate with guns in their hands or what? Did them declare a war against the state or what? Helicopters, gun machines. I mean, instead they have provided everything. They put the army on stand. All this just because it is a march which was called by the EFF. Is this the first march or protest that the EFF ever called in this country? Those are just the questions. So you get to see that sometimes we are where we are today is because there is no willingness. Yes, if there is willingness, then we could have been seeing this same kind of effort in every part of a crisis that we are facing in this country. The same effort they are putting today to make sure that this national shutdown don't take place. If they can put it in all these categories of problems that the nation is facing, I believe perhaps things will have been much more different. But what can we say? That is how politics works. Anyway, guys, now it is very clear. You get to understand that so far, with all the analysis, you get to understand that the EFF, they already win because they manage to make everyone talk about this national shutdown. Some people, they never even know what is national shutdown. They never even heard about it before. Some people, they never experienced it, but right now, it is all about hashtag national shutdown. They make shake the state. We get to see ministers, deputy ministers, all of them reacting over this. They are shaking. They make the president of the republic to talk about this. President Ramaphosa, he spoke about this. That it is how you get to recognize a powerful opposition political party. When they speak something, people, they pay attention to it. So let's wait and see what will happen tomorrow. If you don't want to miss any of what will happen tomorrow, you just have to subscribe to our channel, follow us in our social media, give us your thumbs up. We really do appreciate. Tomorrow we'll be here to give you all the details. I mean, like every details as it will be happening around the country. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really do appreciate your time. I'll see you again in our next video. But for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.